In this video, I want to talk about how to stop waiting for your spouse to change and start living again. So the goal of this video is to help viewers reclaim time, energy, and self-direction when they've been emotionally paused, waiting for their spouse to become someone different someday. Waiting doesn't always look like waiting. Sometimes it looks like explaining one more time, holding on a little longer, staying hopeful but tired, and telling yourself, maybe next year. Today we're talking about how to stop waiting for your spouse to change, not in anger, not in despair, but in a way that gives your life back to you. Now let's name the cost. Waiting quietly costs more than people realize. Over time, waiting freezes your growth, delays your decisions, keeps you emotionally suspended, and erodes self-trust. You don't just wait for change, you wait to feel alive again, and that's too high of a price. Now let's talk about why waiting feels so hard to stop. Most people wait because they love their spouse. They see potential. They've invested years and they don't want regret. Waiting becomes a way to stay loyal, to avoid grief, and to avoid scary decisions. But here's the truth. Waiting is still a choice, just one that quietly chooses the present to repeat. Now let's talk about the difference between hope and holding. Let's make an important distinction here. Hope says, I'll stay open but grounded in reality. Holding says, my life can't move forward until you change. Hope keeps you flexible. Holding keeps you stuck. Now, stopping the wait doesn't mean abandoning hope. It means uncoupling your life from someone else's readiness. Now let's talk about the question that unlocks you. Instead of asking, when will he change? Ask, who am I becoming while I wait? That question brings honesty. Are you growing or shrinking? Becoming clearer or more confused? More alive or more numb? Your answers matter. Now, let's look at what stopping the wait actually looks like. Stopping the wait does not mean issuing ultimatums, leaving immediately, being cold. It means making choices built on reality, building a full life now, setting boundaries around emotional labor, and letting go of timelines you can't control. You stop chasing a future that keeps postponing itself. Now let's talk about the grief that comes with stopping. When you stop waiting, grief often appears. You grieve what you'd hoped would happen, the future you imagined, the version of the relationship you worked for. This grief is not failure. It's the release of fantasy, and fantasy is often what keeps you stuck. Now let's talk about what becomes possible after. When you stop waiting, time opens up, energy returns, self-trust rebuilds, and decisions feel less terrifying. You may stay, you may leave, but either way, you are no longer paused. You are living. Now, if this video described a quiet place you've been living in, like, subscribe, and comment. What have you been waiting for? And are you done waiting? You don't have to force change. You don't have to give up love. But you do get to stop putting your life on hold. I read and respond to every comment. I'll look forward to reading yours. If you are in a neurodiverse marriage, where one spouse is autistic and the other one is not, and you've been struggling for years and years, and you're kind of sick and tired of the routine, talk to me. Use me as your personal coach. I have groups, and I keep these groups small so that you can get a lot of one-on-one attention. I have 3 Q&A groups, one for ASD husbands, one for neurotypical wives, and I have a couples group where both spouses can attend. I also have 2 instructional groups, Cassandra Syndrome Recovery Group to help you cultivate some strategies to recover from years of emotional deprivation, and the Men's Masterclass, in which we take a deep dive on developing social skills and emotional literacy in the context of the neurodiverse marriage. We meet 1 hour a week for 4 weeks. So how much longer are you willing to wait?